Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I am back with yet another video and I am standing right in front of KTM BG Road showroom. Here is my buddy Manjesh. Hegidira? So he sold 790 for me and I bought 790 from this showroom. And here is KTM Adventure 250. I'm excited to ride it, take a test ride. And this looks similar to Adventure 390, right? There is some slight difference in the stickering, headlight is different. Rest of the things are almost same and the dashboard is different. I think we can compare this Adventure 250 bike with the Himalaya 400. Adventure 250 plus Himalaya, compare. There is around 50,000 rupees price difference, man. It's 250cc, Himalaya is 400cc. Look at the power, 30 horsepower in this 250cc engine, 24 Newton meter of torque. The only catch point is the price. First let me ride it and see how it performs. Let's turn this on. Oh, this is a decent dashboard, guys. We get almost all the information over here. The RPM reading, kill switch, exhaust note is decent, not too loud, it's smooth. Sitting posture, I like this. Bunny. So he is going to take me to some different roads. ನೀವು ನನ್ನ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಗಿ ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಡಬ್ಬಾ ರೋಡು ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ, ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಆಫ್ ರೋಡ್ ನೋಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ. ಈಸ್ ಗೋನ್ ಟು ಕಮ್ ವಿತ್ ಮೀ, ನಾಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗೋನ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟೀಲ್ ದಿಸ್ ಬೈಕ್. ಈಸ್ ಗೋನ್ ಟು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಮೀ ಟು ಸಮ್ ರೂಟ್ಸ್ ವೇರ್ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಬೈಕ್ ಇನ್ ಎ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ ಮ್ಯಾನರ್. ಮ್ಯಾನ್, ಸೋ ಕಂಫರ್ಟಬಲ್. Oh man, it's a commanding riding posture. How you feel when you're driving SUV? I'm going through the same feeling. Seat is comfortable and it's not kind of a lock position. You know what? I like that flat seats where I get some space to move around. I don't like those seats where we sit in a locked position. This is a flat seat. You have some space to move your butt back and forth so that you can sit the way you want, the way you feel comfortable. I like the way they have designed the seat. And let me check the acceleration in second gear. Okay, traffic. Good, man. Third gear. Braking response is good. Impressive. I think we'll have to install some accessories to extend this windscreen so that we don't go through the wind blast when we are on highway, when we are on long trips. So I'm not a pro bike reviewer as such. I am a bike enthusiast. I love riding different motorcycles. If you have been watching my previous videos, you know I have been looking for one motorcycle in 300 to 600cc segment. It can be an adventure bike or a cruiser bike. I am glad that I got a chance to ride this today. Man, handling is awesome, man. See, again, I think even in this bike we can sit hours together with ease and keep cruising at around 80-90 km/h. I do not know about the top speed. I heard from the sales team that they have just put the same 250cc Duke's engine to this bike as well. This riding posture, man, awesome. I love this riding posture. You feel as if you're so tall. See, I have to take this bike to off-road to see how it performs there. What do we get to see in the console? We get to see the RPM reading, fuel range, kilometers ridden. This information is sufficient when you're on road trips. See, when I compare this with Himalaya, right, I see a slight difference in power delivery. The power kicks in pretty soon in this bike, but in Himalaya it's kind of a relaxed riding experience. That's a different bike altogether. That's a unique bike. I rode it last week. I have not uploaded the video yet. It's an awesome bike. Okay, acceleration is decent, but Adventure 390 acceleration is awesome. Anyways, that comes with 43 odd horsepower, right? This is 30 horsepower, but this is also nice. See, one thing is the bike is lightweight. It's not as planted as Himalaya. That's what I feel. Let me Braking response, I love this. I love KTM braking response in 390 and 250 now. Very nice, very nice. Humps, cakewalk. Cakewalk for 250 and 390 adventure. Superb, man. I have plans to take... Oi, what are you doing? I have plans to take this and 390 for a short spin, for a short road trip, to do some off-roading with them. Again, one more hump. Hump is like cakewalk for this motorcycle, man. If I compare this with the BMW GS 310 adventure bike, that is also an awesome machine. The suspension in that bike, man, next level. So smooth. And it's huge. That bike is huge. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಖಾಲಿ ರೋಡ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗೋಣ ಬನ್ನಿ, ನಂಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು ಆ ರೂಟ್. Man, I'm not finding any bad roads. What is the top speed in second gear? I didn't see the speed there. But third gear. Okay, there are some potholes. Let me go through potholes and see how it goes. Good. There is one pothole over here. Good. Suspension is okay, man. Good. Compared to Himalaya and GS, they are slightly better than this bike. Slightly better. This is also good. And guys, any 250 Duke owners or Himalaya owners, just don't get offended by whatever I'm saying. It's just that I'm just sharing what I'm feeling while riding. Okay, no offense to any owners. And as I said before, I'm not a pro bike reviewer as such. This is just my personal interest. I'm doing all this. Just don't get into debate in the comment section. Couple of my previous videos were on Royal Enfield Interceptor, Continental GT. I think the owners of those motorcycles were on rampage mode in the comment section. I don't know why. They got offended for some points that I highlighted. I just shared the stuff what I felt while I was riding. Not to offend to any other owners. I don't know, man. I don't know why. I think my buddy lost me somewhere over here. Let him come to the showroom directly, no problem. The only catch point in this bike is the price. KTM, you could have brought down the price a bit, at least 30-40,000. But the bike is superb. 30 horsepower for 250cc is a deadly combination. Look at other motorcycles in this range. For 310 GS, what's the horsepower? Let me put it on the screen. For Himalaya, it's 400cc, but it comes with only 24 horsepower. This comes with 30 horsepower. I think if you are someone who would like to have fun around, even do some adventure and relaxed riding, this is the bike for you. If you are someone who doesn't like to open the throttle here and there to have some fun around, if you're kind of a relaxed rider, go for Himalaya. It's an awesome machine for you guys. But I am someone who would like to have some fun around here and there whenever I'm getting bored. In Himalaya, right, I was missing that fun factor because I am coming from the KTM background. Right, it differs from rider to rider. Let me go on this bad patch. How do I feel while going through bad patch? Let me do saddling. Fortunately, I got this bad patch. Doing saddling is also nice in this motorcycle. I'm on second gear. Let me put this on third gear and see how it performs. Okay. Second gear. Okay, I'm doing saddling on this bad road. Good. Not bad. Not bad at all. Good, man. But somewhere down the line, I feel I enjoyed doing off-road with Himalaya. I think that bike is built for off-road. But I was getting bored while I was riding it on highway. See, that's my thing. It differs from rider to rider. I have Duke 790. My background is all about Dukes, 390s, 790. So that is where I felt as if I was getting a little bored. It's okay. Again, Royal Enfield owners, please don't go on rampage mode on me. It's just my thing. We will be able to see the actual performance of this bike once we take it to long ride in different terrains. in different weather conditions and in different roads. All in all, man, awesome. What's the major difference between this and Adventure 390? This dashboard, headlight, there is no traction control in this, no kick shifter. I think rest of the features are same. Bike looks pretty similar to 390 Adventure, and there is a lot of difference in power delivery, a lot of difference. 390 is a hooligan, this is a Chota hooligan. I am 5'10", I can almost keep my feet flat on the ground, almost, not completely. When you talk about suspension, BMW, that GS310 Adventure is awesome, and even Himalaya is nice. Then comes this. Let me go inside the showroom and talk a bit about the warranty part and other stuff. As far as I know, the quick shifter is not there, traction control is not there, right? That comes only with Adventure 390, 200 mm ground clearance. It is similar to Adventure 390, right? The console looks completely different.
Yeah, in 390 Adventure it comes with a TFT display, and now we are seeing the LCD display.
On and off-road. That means when we are on off-road, we can go on off-road mode. Yes. Or we need to press and hold for some time. Then we get this option called off-road. Yes. And then we have switchable ABS, right? Yes. In that we can turn off the ABS and we can have some fun around. Yes. So that's called as the Super Moto mode that I have in my Duke 790. But it is not called the same in this bike, I think. So it's okay. So now what are the tires you guys are installing for this? MRF tires. Why not Medzilla? Adventure 390 also you guys are giving MRF only, I think. Okay, because of COVID situation, import ban and all that happening, right? We are not getting the tires. WP Apex suspension. It's not adjustable, I think. It's in a fixed position.
It's in a fixed position. Only the race suspension, it can be adjustable.
It can be adjusted, right?
Foreign like Austria and all, we have the adjustable suspension in the 250 Adventure and the 390 Adventure. Of the Indian market, we don't have the front adjustable suspension.
This is, what do we call it? This is completely different from Adventure 390.
Yeah, in this you get, as usual, the previous Duke which you are getting.
The previous 250 Duke. Okay.
What you are getting, the halogen bulbs, it is the same as thing. And this is the DLR, it will be there all time.
How about the radiator? 2 fans.
Yeah, it is a liquid cooled engine, so that it is having a 2 fans for the better cooling system.
Okay. I think we don't go through eating issues in 250 segment. Yes. Everything boils down to 2 things. Indians, most of the people will have 2 questions in their mind before buying any motorcycle, right? What's the on-road price? What's the mileage? This is the same engine you have put from Duke 250, right? Yes. So what's the mileage in Duke 350? That should be the same in this bike also.
Duke 250, it was coming with an 32.
30 to 32.
32.
City, highway, everywhere. That's a decent mileage. What's the on-road price now?
The on-road price is around like 3,18,000.
And what's the service interval?
Service interval every 7.5 thousand.
Okay, and what's the estimated service cost?
Around 3.5 to 4.5.
This and Adventure 390, both the motorcycles are manufactured in India.
Yes.
That's a good part, right? That's the good thing for the customers, that if we are facing any issues, minor or major, spare parts are available here. Yes. I'm going through a lot of challenges with my Duke 790, right? You have seen it's been lying there in the warehouse for more than 1.5-2 months and all. Now that's the good part that I like. So spare parts are all over the place. If bike breaks down when we are on trip, we can reach out to any nearby KTM service center and get it fixed. But it's not the same case with 790, my bike. It's like I have to tow all the way from nowhere to my house. Seat height is 855 mm. Okay. You guys are going to launch this in this particular showroom tomorrow, right?
Yeah, tomorrow evening we'll be launching.
I think you are a bit late to this game. The other showrooms, they have already launched it.
Launched, but we are due to some issues, we are launching tomorrow.
Okay.
Like 5:30. Yeah.
Guys, if you are interested, you can contact Manjesh if you are nearby to Bengaluru. This is Bannerghatta showroom, and I will drop the link, map, everything in the description. And what's the on-road price of Duke 125?
It's 1,91,000.
1,91,000. How many horses?
It's a 14.5 bhp.
Okay guys, thank you for all the explanation, and thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next video with some other bike or going on a long ride with my Duke 790.
If you are possible of evening, sir, for the launch.
I will come. Thank you guys. I will see you in my next video. Take care. Bye bye. Bye Sanjay. Bye Manjesh. Finally, I got all the issues fixed in my 790 Duke. I hope I'm not going to face any issues in near future. This rotor was slightly misaligned. They have aligned it properly with the dial gauge, and there was a slight bend in the alloy. Got replaced with the new alloy. There was some uneven rotation in the sprocket. That is also solved. Installed the new sprocket rubbers, and they have aligned it properly. So now all these things are in sync. They have checked each and every bit of it with the dial gauge, and everything looks perfect now. A lot of effort and time has gone into fixing all these issues, correcting the mistakes what they made last time. It's all set, man. Let's see how it goes. Okay, he's slightly conscious because of this camera. It's okay.